I told you guys I've seen Jay Z at the Diddy parties several times, but Diddy parties and Diddy After Dark are two different things. I want to go on record of saying I never saw Jay Z at a Diddy After Dark party. Then again, I wasn't there, so I don't know who was there. But I know that I saw Jay Z at the Diddy parties.
Jason Lee is back on Jay Z and Beyonce's neck, and this time he's got the receipts. On the latest episode of the Jason Lee podcast, Jason dropped some serious tea that got everybody talking. According to him, Jay Z and Beyonce allegedly reached out to him about Diddy. Yep, you heard that right. Jay and Bey supposedly had folks hitting up Jason, and not in a kind of way. Jason wasn't having it though. He made it clear he wanted Jay Z's people to stop sending him subtle threats and just handle it directly. Basically, if Jay wants to talk, he should pick up the phone and call himself.
They haven't called me to go to the gold party.
To accept being honored.
They haven't called me when we offered to honor Jay Z at the award show. They didn't call me to go to the press conference about striking the deal with the NFL while we were kneeling for Kaepernick. They didn't call me to ask me what I thought about her hair care product. They didn't call me to offer a free bottle of her perfume. I didn't get to go backstage on her tour for the Renaissance. In fact, when the video circulated making it look like I've been chasing her around like a super fan, which I am a super fan, but I chase nobody. Nobody's called me to clear that up. I haven't gotten a delivery of white flowers with a little card from Beyonce. Why is everybody calling me now?
According to Jason, Jay Z and Beyonce never called him for anything important. He wasn't invited to the gold party when they honored people, didn't get a call for the press conference when they made that NFL deal, didn't hit him up about Beyonce's hair care product. He didn't even get to go backstage during her Renaissance tour. Then, when that video dropped, making him look like a super fan chasing her around, nobody reached out to clear that up. Now, suddenly, everybody's calling him. Jason's also saying he stopped a major scandal for Beyonce from ever seeing the light of the day and didn't even get a thank you. And now, suddenly everyone from Beyonce and Jay's camp is suddenly calling him, and he's just trying to figure out why.
Because this is...
Why have I been getting calls?
Because this is like...
Why am I getting calls and I haven't even said anything?
Because this is the monster of all monsters.
Who? Me?
This Diddy case.
Why would I, Jason Lee, I'm getting calls and I haven't even said anything. They ain't called me to go to the Rock Nation brunch. They haven't called me to go to the gold party.
To accept being honored.
They haven't called me when we offered to honor Jay Z at the award show. They didn't call me to go to the press conference about striking the deal with the NFL while we were kneeling for Kaepernick. They didn't call me to ask me what I thought about her hair care product. They didn't call me to offer a free bottle of her perfume. I didn't get to go backstage on her tour for the Renaissance. In fact, when the video circulated making it look like I've been chasing her around like a super fan, which I am a super fan, but I chase nobody. Nobody's called me to clear that up. I haven't gotten a delivery of white flowers with a little card from Beyonce. Why is everybody calling me now?
Oh, and you also stopped.
We not gonna even go there. I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Didn't even get a thank you.
Speaking of the scandal that he stopped for Beyonce, it looks like it was something really big. Just take a listen to this.
I'm gonna tell them while Johnny puts a beep over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now. Ooh. And that's where I go back to, like, we're friends in the game. We support each other. We help each other out. Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Law? Oh, there was one more thing. Beat this, Johnny.
Woo!
So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a, you know what I mean, like a little love there. Now,
maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce. And they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts. Yvette know I got the receipts. I got them. Now if I get that message to Beyonce,
yes,
I can get it to be. Oh, I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce.
She needs to know.
And I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just what I do. You know that, Yvette. We're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about, then it's gonna be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts. The receipts I just told you about, then I'll put those out.
The fires that will come of that.
I ain't worried. I ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing this industry game.
And now he's making it clear that he's saving this whole conversation for Jay Z. He's calling Jay out saying, I know you're watching. He wants Jay to stop having people call him and just reach out directly because he knows Jay knows how to get his number.
Jay Z, you're watching. I know you're watching, but you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You know you got people calling me. Call me yourself, because this right here is going to go viral. The way my job works on the internet, everybody's going to be clipping on TikTok. Watch this.
Now, Jason being Jason, he predicted this whole thing would go viral. And honestly, he was right. People online went crazy over it, but we'll get into that in a minute. What's interesting is that Jason added a little side note for his listeners. He said, if I come up missing, just know all these calls have been about him. So yeah, he's making it sound like things are real serious, but at the same time, he admitted he hasn't gotten any threatening calls. It's like, I'm not in danger yet, but still, he's laying out some pretty heavy hints that something's going on behind the scenes.
But I will tell you, to the audience, if I do come up missing, all the calls I've been getting have been about him. And listen, I haven't had any threatening calls. Nobody has said that they're going to hurt me, so I want to go on record for that. You've never called for anything else, and I haven't even said anything about you yet. And yet I'm getting all these calls. I've gotten more calls over the weekend about Jay Z and Beyoncé. You know, I think this is an opportunity to have a bridge and have a conversation about how this thing works, because I'm not a publicist. I am not I'm just Jason, okay? And I have opinions about unlocking Hollywood. Remember I said at the top of this show, or somewhere in the show, that I was in love with the entertainment industry until I found out it was Jeffrey Dahmer. This is part of the gnawing at the wrist that the industry does. You know, black excellence, we don't show up for each other like we should. And then when the about to hit the fan or some, you think I'm gonna go fan some now you're showing up. You know, again, I'm not angry. I'm a little disappointed.
Once that clip started circulating on social media, folks didn't hold back. Everybody had something to say about it. This user on X straight up said, risking getting killed over some gossip is crazy, Lowell. And you know what? That pretty much sums up how a lot of people were feeling. There are speculations that Jason might have some crazy details of Jay Z's involvement with Diddy, and that is why Jay Z's team is trying to get this sorted. Y'all remember when Perez used to thrive off celebrity gossip and drama? One user made the connection, writing, why would they call you if you weren't trying to spread a rumor about them? I remember when Perez Hilton first started and he would mock these people and spread fake rumors. Then I realized he did it because he wanted to befriend these people. It's not hard to see why people are drawing that parallel. Back in the day, Perez would stir the pot, hoping to get the attention of the very celebrities he was gossiping about. And now it seems like folks are accusing Jason Lee of doing the same thing. Some people believe he's just trying to get closer to Jay Z and Beyoncé by keeping their names in his mouth. Folks are starting to think Jason ain't just gossiping for attention, but that he's actually trying to push his way into their circle. Whether that's true or not, people are seeing it that way, and it's not looking good for him. Now, this whole thing with Jason Lee and the Carters didn't just pop up out of nowhere. A few weeks back, Jaguar Wright was already making headlines for kind of the same reasons. She went on Piers Morgan's show in early October, throwing out wild accusations about Jay Z and Diddy, calling them monsters, and saying that Beyoncé was just as guilty.
Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay Z are monsters. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
After the episode aired, Jay Z and Beyonce's legal team got involved, calling the claims totally false, and they literally gave Piers Morgan an ultimatum to cut that part from the interview. Morgan apologized and made it clear that Jay and Bey weren't here for the nonsense. They had the receipts to back up their request to get those parts removed.
Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said, editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay Z and Beyoncé.
So when Jason Lee came out with his story about Jay Z and Beyoncé supposedly calling him about Diddy, it felt like just another chapter in this ongoing saga. So what does this mean for Jason Lee's story? Well, it's still hard to figure out what's real and what's just hype. Jason has a history of stirring up controversy, and this latest claim feels like more of the same. But the fact that people online are so split about whether to believe him or not shows just how tricky this situation is. On one side, folks are getting tired of the constant drama and gossip, but on the other, they can't help but wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. But what do y'all think? Does Jason really have something on Jay and Beyoncé, or is he just chasing clouts?